Welcome back, everyone. Let's see. Jimmy 2 update. I think we're at 11 now. 10 or 11, somewhere in there. All right, I'll start from front to back, bow to stern. I am going to install one of these bow eyes for whatever. I'm not going to trailer, but tie downs to be towed or anchoring or whatever. So that'll be right here off the bow. There's my holes right there. That's going to be coming out just like that. I added this block on the inside with silica thickened epoxy just to spread the load a little bit when that's being pulled on. What was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say about that. Can't remember. Anyway, that should be good. That's ready to go. I just got to do one more coat of epoxy seal on that before I put the forward deck on, and that'll be good to go. I should be able to reach in and tighten those nuts that are on there. That blue is the tape I taped around the threads, because when I glued that block in, I installed this to pull it tight up against the V of the bow. So I didn't want to glue it in place. So I wrapped it with painter's tape and banged it out, and it worked. The glue is still slightly soft. It was the morning after I did the epoxy job on it, so it had a little bit of give to it. So I didn't want to let it get rock solid like it is now to get that out. So that's all good. I'm not sure if I showed it last time, but there's my fuel line coming out of there. And there's the other end way down there, if you see that. So that's in place. The seat tops are glued down. I got the fillets sanded a little bit. So those are done, more or less. Again, I'll probably sand those a little bit more before I put the coat of clear epoxy on, but that's getting close. You could see, I think, in there, yep, I added some foam in there for extra flotation, like the manual suggests. So that's good. I think what I'm going to do for those deck plates right there on the seat sides, I got one on the other side too. I'd like to be able to put my keys and wallet and stuff in there, maybe the registration for the boat. Looks like they sell hatches that have bags, like a dry bag behind it. I don't know how well it works, but at least if I get those, one for each side, it will prevent me losing my keys or whatever I put in there in the seat cavity. That's one of my bigger concerns. So I may get those. I'm still kind of researching that a little bit. I got the rear engine pad mounted. There's that little branding iron thing with my name on there. I rounded over this with a 1/4 inch round over and then glued it. Still need a bunch of sanding. I need sanding everywhere. So that is done. I gotta head off to work here in a day or two. My goal is to get the forward bow in place. And I've been working on the front hatch where the fuel tank is gonna go in through, and anchor or whatever else I end up putting in there. I figured it'd be easier to do that with the deck not installed. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm about to glue it up, but I figured I'd show you guys first before I get that done. Then I'm going to bed. Anyway, so what I'm doing here, let's see. I'll start over here. There's the hole. I hope I didn't take too much structural integrity out of that, because I know that contributes to the rigidity of the bow. But I think the direction of the force, once that's glued in, I don't think it's going to make a difference whether it has that hole out of the center of it or not. I mean, I'm sure it will a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be that impactful on the strength. Anyway, So here's what I'm doing for a hatch. I have a couple, let's see, I got some hinges somewhere. There they are. Got these hinges here. They're gonna go underneath. And I got 2 of those, and then I have this latch here. It's kind of a cheap one, but man, that chrome stuff is expensive. So I'm gonna mount that there. Still have to figure out the details on how that's gonna latch. I think I'm gonna figure that out as I go. So this is just a half lap here. It's not glued yet, but there's that, and then I cut out that part of the deck, and then that is fit into a groove in the, I guess you could call them rails and stiles, the hatch perimeter. So that is that's gonna be pretty strong when it's done. So that's good. Should be able to stand on it, no problem. And then so that will hinge up and down like this, and then it's going to have a lower frame, which is what this is. So same kind of deal, just a half lap. And then I'm going to glue that to the deck, and I'm going to have a lip. I'm going to have a little bump here that comes up into, sorry for all the camera moving. It's going to fit into the bottom side of this groove here. So if water comes up, it would have to go up and over to get into the forward bow section. I'm not really sure how much that matters, but that's just something I wanted to do. I think that's really the only updates I have. I've done a bunch of sanding. I wasn't too happy with my fiberglass tape job. I've been learning this fiberglass and thing, and it wasn't really sitting flat, as you could see there. So I'm hoping I can sand that out well enough that with the coats of epoxy that are going to go on later, I can gradually sand it smooth. The funny thing is, my son has re-engaged, which I'm really happy about. He's gaining some interest in the project, which was my hope from the beginning. If you saw my first video, that's what I was hoping for. Anyway, he helped me do the fiberglass taping on the inside of the seats, and man, that came out way better. Of course, nobody will be able to see it. So the one tip I have, I don't even feel qualified to give you a tip on fiberglassing, but I will say what made it better was, instead of pushing down when I did this fiberglass work here, I tried to push the dry fiberglass down beforehand, and I just couldn't get these little wrinkles out of it. This fiberglass tape has a edge that's reinforced so it doesn't start pulling apart. I'm not sure what that's called, but I found if I took my finger, if I pulled just the edge on one end in one direction and then the other end on the other direction, it eliminated all those wrinkles when I did that. So pushing down on it like this didn't help, but pulling the outer edge of the, I hope that makes sense, outer edge of the tape made all the difference in the world. So if I had a camera stand, I could show you. But yeah, see this? You can pull on this and it doesn't come apart. So that's kind of what prevented, I think, those wrinkles prevented the wrinkles from coming out until I pulled the edge forward and aft, and then it worked pretty well. So I think that is all. I'm looking around here. I think that's pretty much all I got going on. So I'm trying to get this hatch done so then I can feel good about gluing the forward deck in place. And the next video should have that there. So until next time, take care. Bye-bye.